Hey, I'm going to talk about replacing a Moen cartridge and a couple things that goes wrong with these Moen faucets. This is a Salora unit. One thing that went wrong for me is this piece can get loose and then water runs down and that can be a leak, so that's probably the first thing I check again. Second thing that happened to me is there's a little plastic washer in here that's a hinge, and that broke, so then the tap wouldn't turn on. So anyway, I turned my water off underneath already. That's the first thing you got to remember to do. And then you take this little Moen, little tag out here, and once that's out, it just kind of flips up pretty easy. I usually make sure my drains are covered too, so that's really helpful. So once that's out, you grab your hex key here and you put it in. So you have to look in there and find it. And once you see it, then you can get it out pretty easy. I'm going to spin that out. Really all you need for this is a wrench and a Phillips screwdriver and your hex key. That's about it. These Moen faucets are pretty good. They'll replace parts if you have a problem. So take that out, and it slides right off. And this is the mechanism here, kind of off and on. This just pops off, this little piece, little cover. And then this is the main part. So grab your Phillips. And then you unscrew this. I'll show you that plastic hinge right now that can break. A little plastic washer hinge. They gave me a new cartridge at Moen when I went, but all I needed was the hinge, so I kind of noticed that before I left. And I got a hinge as well, but they're good about this stuff. So anyway, this comes out, and you can see how this mechanism is. This little hinge, plastic piece here, this black plastic piece. And it just goes on like that, and you can see how the mechanism works once you screw it down. But yeah, that can break, and that's a big problem. Let me unscrew this part. It's pretty easy stuff. Let's take this little cap off. And unscrew this piece. And then this little, it's just a little plastic washer here. Comes off, and then you can take this whole part off here. Out of your way if you like. Now we're just down. There's a little washer on top here that comes out. Stopper here. And then there's one more horseshoe pin in there. Just give it a little push from the back. And then you can kind of pry it off the front. Push in the back, and then out that comes. And now you can pull this out. So I just use a pair of vice grips, whatever you want. This comes right out. Yeah, like so. So that's your cartridge. In. So, and then yeah, there's a little piece you get, this little piece here that you get that you can use to turn it, and you can get your horseshoe pin back in. Have it the right way. Usually my turn's pretty good, but you just get a wrench and turn it if you can't do it with your hands, kind of thing. Make sure that's settled right. I didn't have it right there. Just gotta make sure there's two little plastic pieces here, one on each side. Just gotta make sure one's facing you. And then you just pop that back in. Snaps right in nicely. Put the washer back on, and then put your whole tap unit back on, like so, it's resting down. Then you put this little washer on, and then that holds it all in place, like so, and then you're ready to put your assembly back on. Yeah, just hand tighten. And this little plastic piece, I put this little lip that faces me, this guy, and then you can put on your back on your mechanism. So again, there's that little plastic hinge, kind of goes on like so. You can screw her in. Flips. Like so. There's your, you see how the plastic takes all the pressure, that little hinge there. Okay, and then you can put this on underneath, over top, nice and tight. And then I just like to push that up a bit so I can see the hex key. I'm going to put this little decorative piece on. And then go scratch there. Just put this there. And this kind of slides right in there. Look, like so. And then the hex key. I like to get in there and have a look where that's going to go. Like so. Okay, you'll feel it when it's tight. And then, last but not least, our little Moen clip. Clips right on. Done. So that's how you place the cartridge on a Moen faucet, and that little plastic clip. A couple things that can break. Again, I'd look for this plastic clip. All done. That's it.